Juneteenth, Jubilee for Freedom by June Preszler. Celebrating Juneteenth. Soulful blues music fills the air. Children laugh and play baseball or tug of war. When the music stops, a speaker begins. He talks about a time when African Americans were slaves. He tells the story of Juneteenth. Listeners learn how slaves in Texas first heard they were free. What is Juneteenth? Each year on June 19th, millions of people celebrate the end of slavery after the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Juneteenth honors the sacrifices and successes of African Americans. It is a day when African Americans take pride in their heritage. Fact: people combined June and 19th to create the name Juneteenth. The last to know. Slaves in Galveston, Texas were the last U.S. slaves to hear about their freedom. The news came more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln ended slavery in some southern states in 1863. Union troops led by General Gordon Granger brought the news of freedom on June 19, 1865. Fact: why did it take so long for Texas slaves to learn they were free? Union troops didn't reach Texas during the Civil War. There was no one to force Texas slave owners to free their slaves until the war ended in 1865. A new holiday. June 19 became a day of celebration for African Americans in Texas. People prayed and elders told stories of the past. Over time, barbecuing, fishing, music, and games became part of the festivities. People gave speeches about self-improvement. The traditions soon spread to other states. Fact: at some early Juneteenth events, people threw old ragged clothing into rivers to show they were no longer slaves. Juneteenth at home. Today, many families decorate their homes with red banners on Juneteenth. Red stands for the blood that people shed as slaves. The holiday brings families together. They tell stories of their history. They make plans to help end racism in the world. Juneteenth around town. Juneteenth means exciting activities. Adults and children march in parades. Axes are sometimes carried because they were used to cut the chains of slavery. Crowds gather at picnics. Fishing contests, baseball games, and sack races have been part of Juneteenth events for many years. Food. Juneteenth celebrations include lots of good food. Barbecuing is as important today as it was during early Juneteenth events. People simmer pork or lamb in the barbecue pit, just as newly freed slaves did. They enjoy symbolic red foods like strawberry soda and red velvet cake. Music. Many Juneteenth celebrations include music with African American roots. The exciting sounds of jazz, blues, and hip hop fill the air. Through music, food, and fun, people celebrate the end of slavery. On Juneteenth, African Americans honor the past and look forward to a bright future. Amazing holiday story. Texas was the last place to get the news that slavery was over. But it was the first state to make Juneteenth an official state holiday. In 1980, Texas State Representative Al Edwards helped Juneteenth become a Texas state holiday. Juneteenth became the first official African American holiday in the United States.